Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we present you 50 beautiful retro historical photos. We hope you will appreciate our work. Write your comment and click the subscribe button. Enjoy the show, and here we go. American model Janet Pilgrim 1959. British photo model Suzanne Mitzi 1988. September 1943. Washington Courthouse, Ohio. Boy who rides to and from school daily on a Greyhound bus waiting outside the depot. May 1942. Amusement park in Southington, Connecticut. (1938) San Francisco, Reserve Vicinity, St. John Parish, Louisiana. Steamboat Gothic circa 1850. Washington, D.C., circa 1926. Men examining skulls. Summer 1936. Cat on porch of a sharecropper's cabin, Hale County, Alabama. March 25, 1952. Lever House, 53rd Street and Park Avenue. Gordon Bunn Haft, architect. Our lovely lady from upstate New York once again, here wearing the most incredible hat. Another photo from the collection of circa 1912. May 1942. Paris Island, South Carolina. U.S. Marine Corps Glider Detachment Training Camp. A barrage balloon takes to the air under capable handling by a Marine Corps ground crew. May 6, 1924. Arlington, Virginia. Byers-Kuntz wedding. The union of Miss Virginia Byers to Lieutenant. November 25, 1950. Locker room gloom. Dejected high school football team in locker room at the Freeport Municipal Stadium after the first half. Washington, D.C., circa 1915. Die Margaret Miss Group. July 1943. Montgomery County, Maryland. World Cruise at Glen Echo Park. San Francisco circa 1920. Cole Aero 8 Roadster. The Jersey Shore circa 1905. In the surf at Asbury Park. The East River circa 1905. Williamsburg Bridge from Brooklyn. December 5, 1940. Joseph Mullen Incorporated, 18 East 50th Street, New York. View from window. January 25, 1955. Becton Dickinson Incorporated, Rutherford, New Jersey. Fellheimer Wagner client. Double secretarial desk. February 26, 1954. Large group of infants in high chairs with various adult foods on their trays. Palatine, Illinois, circa 1950. School children at Hirsch's. Circa 1904. Havana, Cuba the Prado, looking south. Circa 1908. High Street at night, Arch City, Columbus, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio, circa 1905. Shoot the Chutes ride at Luna Park. The Mississippi River circa 1906. Steamboat landing at Vicksburg, Mississippi. New York circa 1908. Fifth Avenue and 42nd Street. Circa 1910. Schlitz Hotel, Atlantic City. On the boardwalk at Ocean Avenue. This is my mom, Dorothy Porter, and my two older sisters, Madge and June, on a family vacation trip to Folly Beach, South Carolina in the summer of 1950. Charming Eva Eden, photo 1966. April 20th, 1965. Vending machines, cigarettes. Washington, D.C., circa 1928. Chesapeake Potomac Telephone Company Office Boys Football Team. Washington, D.C., 1936. Department of Interior exhibit kitchen at All Electric Farm. Somewhere in Washington, D.C., circa 1926. S.W. Barrow is all it says here. Washington, D.C., circa 1920. National Fruit Company banana truck. June 1943. Arlington, Virginia. One of several alcoves off the corridor in Idaho Hall, Arlington Farms, a residence for women who work in the U.S. government for the duration of the war. September 11, 1900. Masonic Temple, State Street, Chicago Temple Theater and Central Music Hall. Completed 1892. Circa 1907. Atlantic House, Nantasket Beach, Massachusetts. Detroit, circa 1909. The new YMCA building. (1937) Slater House, St. Augustine, St. Johns County, Florida. Dr. Chatelain's photographs. P.A. Wolf, photographer. August 1943. Middle River, a small crossroads in the vicinity of Baltimore, Maryland. March 1943. American and British engineers taking time out for a smoke. They are standing on an American locomotive somewhere in Iran. Washington, D.C., circa 1918. Fraser, James C., Mrs. Group, is all it says here. March 8, 1913. Wyandotte, Michigan. Steamers A.D. McTeer and F.P. Jones sponsors. New York circa 1907. Knickerbocker Hotel, Broadway 42nd Street. June 17, 1912. Stanford University varsity crew at Poughkeepsie, New York Boathouse. New York, December 1913. Hook Ladder Company No. 7, 3rd Avenue and 15th Street. Circa 1904. Fisk House and Beach, Old Orchard, Maine. Circa 1910. Morgan Residence, St. Clair Flats, Michigan. San Francisco, 1928. DeSoto 6 sedan. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Beautiful Natalie Banas photo shoot 1990. Jane Mansfield's beautiful 1959 photo shoot. August 1923. Washington, D.C. Dump story. Washington, D.C. Girls at Potomac Tidal Basin Bathing Beach Pavilion, May 28, 23. (1963). George Jenkins, founder of the Publix supermarket chain, with his family at their home in Lakeland, Florida. November 12, 1920. Washington, D.C. 14 persons injured in crash of 3 cars. Wreck at 9th and F Streets when brakes fail to work endangers many others. Policemen leap to safety. More than 2,000 citizens delayed an hour in getting home. May 1921. Washington, D.C. Charles Seeger, a composer, is a brother of Alan Seeger, the war poet. His wife is a distinguished violinist. Washington, D.C., circa 1920. People's Drug Store, 15th Street, New York Avenue, NW. January 1943. Freight operations on the Indiana Harbor Belt Railroad between Chicago and Hammond, Indiana. Getting his waybills, Conductor Cunningham telephones his yardmaster with the number of cars he has to handle and where the delivery is to be made. May 1943. Clinton, Iowa. Women wipers of the Chicago Northwestern cleaning one of the giant freight locomotives. San Francisco. Maxwell, 1919, is all it says here. (1963). George Jenkins, founder of the Publix supermarket chain, at store in Lakeland, Florida. Detroit, circa 1899. Detroit, NE, from Chamber of Commerce. February 1943. Daytona Beach, Florida, street scene. November 1938. Shafter, California. During the cotton strike, the father, a striking picker, has left his wife and child in the car while he applies to the Farm Security Administration for an emergency food grant. September 26, 1922. Washington, D.C. Virginia Avenue Playgrounds. Circa 1904. Depot at Braidwood, Illinois. January 1937. Children of migrant citrus worker who lives in a rundown apartment house. The sink at the head of the stairs is the only running water in the house. Winter Haven, Florida. March 1936. One-room house on Collins Forest and Game Reservation between the Tennessee and Cumberland Rivers in Kentucky. May 1936. Sharecropper's family in Mississippi County, Missouri. Typical sharecropper shack with crop entirely surrounding house. New York, 1904. Goat carriages in Central Park. San Francisco circa 1920. Grand Touring Car. (1924) Washington, D.C. Rock Creek Park. Miss Catherine Wren and Norvell Munford. Washington, D.C., 1924. The latest in electric baseball scoreboards. George Coleman, inventor, is shown with the mechanism of the new scoreboard. February 1923. Miss Jacqueline Mansfield. Washington, D.C., circa 1940. Star Parking Plaza, 10th and East Streets, NW. This motor-age landmark with Art Deco. January 26, 1937. Fort Belvoir troops proceed to flood area. Washington, D.C., 1940. Daughters of the American Revolution reception. J. Edgar Hoover, Federal Bureau of Investigation Director, greets Mrs. Henry M. Robert Jr., President General of the DR. American model and beauty queen, June Cochran. Photo 1963. Atlantic City, New Jersey, circa 1905. A lifesaver on the lookout. Circa 1910 surf bathers, somewhere in New England. Circa 1906. Custom House and Post Office, Memphis, Tennessee. (1917) Torpedo Shop, Washington Navy Yard. November 1938. Family of Rural Rehabilitation client. Tulare County, California. Husband also works about 10 days a month outside the farm. Is 26 years old. Wife 22, 3 small children. Been in California 5 years. San Francisco, 1921. California Street east from Montgomery. November 1942. Babies Hospital, New York. Nurse training. Through classes in pediatrics, student nurses learn how the right toys can be almost as important as medicine and diet in getting a sick child well. Circa 1907. 4th Street, Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati again circa 1907. 4th Street west from Maine. August 10th, 1952. Art Frandl and Stephen Lee, 10 months. December 1960. Interior barber shop. Republic Building, 209 South State Street, Chicago. Architects, Hollywood Roche. Completed 1905, demolished 1961. August 1942. And so he says to me, sailor mechanics at the Naval Air Base in Corpus Christi, Texas, laugh heartily over a good story between servicing operations on Navy planes. San Francisco, 1928. Auburn Phaeton sedan. San Francisco, 1928. Auburn Phaeton sedan. Minneapolis circa 1910. Hotel Radisson and 7th Street. April 1926. Washington, D.C. Ms. Louise Thorne of the National Academy of Sciences holding a plant growing in an airtight bulb. Washington, D.C., 1919. Police coffee. Washington, D.C., 1919. Police coffee. Washington, D.C. Tech High Football, 1919. November 16, 1923. Washington, D.C. Shura Cherkasky, Father Isaac, Mother Lydia. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Enchanting Natalie Banas, 1989. Sweet Maria Whitaker, 1987 photo shoot. The adorable Donna Evan. April 1943. Washington, D.C. Jitterbugs at an Elks Club dance, the cleanest dance in town. San Francisco, 1924. Maxwell crossing Washington Street at Spreckles Mansion. Washington, D.C., 1930. No caption. Horse jumping through group of men. Cleveland, Ohio, circa 1900. Colonial Hotel, Prospect Avenue. Circa 1905. Superior Avenue, Cleveland. April 1943. Washington, D.C., a cafeteria. Philadelphia, circa 1912. Market Street west from 11th, with view of City Hall. San Francisco, circa 1920. Pierce Arrow Model 31 touring car. Durant, Mrs. T. Child, between March 1905 and August 1906. Atlantic City, circa 1914. Bathers in front of Chalfont Hotel and Steeplechase Pier. New York, circa 1912. Big buildings of Lower Manhattan. Detroit, circa 1905. Journal building at Fort and Wayne. Philadelphia circa 1905. Broad Street Station of the Pennsylvania RR. San Francisco circa 1918. Franklin Touring Car. Somewhere in the 1950s, with a hand that seems suspiciously good. Detroit circa 1916. Washington Boulevard, East Side. Detroit circa 1916. Don Bank Branch, Broadway Grand Circus Park. New York circa 1914. Fifth Avenue at 42nd Street. Unknown kids in an unknown location, riding a giant tortoise, probably in Southern California, possibly the San Diego Zoo, or wherever you go to ride a giant tortoise. May 1954. Debbie Reynolds with Jane Powell in dance scene from the MGM musical Athena. Chicago circa 1910. The busy crowd on State Street. Washington, D.C., 1925. Snow Removal Ford Motor Company, Fordson, Tractor, Pennsylvania Avenue. I have no idea of the relationship between these three, but they look straight out of a Hollywood gangster film. Or maybe everyone back then looked like they were in a gangster film. Dickey Christmas Tree, 1915. The family of Washington lawyer Raymond Dickey. San Francisco circa 1920. Marmont 34 limousine. Washington, D.C., circa 1935. And no caption, boy on toy pony next to Christmas tree. The gorgeous Tracy Lords, 1987. January 6, 1933. Manhattan from St. George Hotel in Brooklyn to Financial District, Night View. Banana Bert and Lil at Buzzards Bay Dairy Queen, 1950. June 1938. Stores on Sunday. Vincennes, Indiana. Russell at cabin is what's written on the slide mount. 1L Russell and all. Taken at Running Springs, California. Self-portrait as New Woman, 1896. Frances Benjamin Johnston, seated in front of fireplace, facing left, holding cigarette in one hand and beer stein in the other, in her Washington, D.C. studio. I obtained this photo at a paper show at the Rothman Center at Fairleigh Dickinson University many years ago. The photographer, Stadler, was based in Chicago. July 1941. Boys on the 4th of July. State College, Pennsylvania. June 1938. City Hall and Courthouse in Vincennes, Indiana. January 1937. Highway marker in Polk County, Florida. Circa 1904. State House, Boston, Massachusetts. With General Hooker on sentry duty 24/7. October 4th, 1938. Cakes for Sky Riders. Air travelers leaving Washington Airport during National Air Travel Week, October 2nd through 9, are being given a special treat. Cakes baked from their favorite recipes are being put aboard each plane by chefs of the leading hotels in the capital. January 1943. Washington, D.C. Girl in the doorway of her room at a boarding house. Circa 1899. Chicago Northwestern Railway Station, Elmhurst, Illinois. This is Raleigh. He is about 8 in these 1951 photos. Running Springs, California in 1951. October 1963. Cars in parking garage at base of Marina Towers high-rise apartment building, Chicago. August 18, 1924. Professor Hall of Naval Observatory with 26-inch telescope. October 1963. John and Sandy Dinehart of Chicago at their Marina City high-rise apartment, the couple entertaining on their 60th floor balcony. July 1943. Greenville, South Carolina. Air Service Command. Enlisted man folding up his gas mask to hang on the wall after having worn it all day. This was a going-away party for a son who had joined the Navy and was leaving for the East Coast. July 1943. Greenville, South Carolina. Air Service Command. Enlisted man of the 25th Service Group relaxing in his hutment. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Photo shoot of Jane Mansfield in a charming outfit, 1957.